Okay, I think I am going to live now. I see a little wheelie dealy thing. It's been a crazy technology morning over here. So hopefully things are coming up. I see it is. And yay. Okay, I believe we are on. So, hello everybody. I'm here. I'm Tony and I have a little Facebook group. It's called Jupiter's Playground. And I have a website too, jupitersplayground.com, and I work with astrology. And today I wanted to talk about Venus, how to work with Venus, where to find Venus in your chart. Lots and lots of different things. I have some things that I want to show you on. I created a little presentation, but I wanted to go live today since this is the last day that I'll be coming for the Love Fest. So I'm pretty excited to be here with you. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Because I just think that this image is just so cool of Venus. So check it out. So I love this. So Venus, this is Venus right here. And if you take a look at the planet itself, it's pretty, I mean, it's, the atmosphere is pretty hectic. It's not necessarily like the most peaceful atmosphere, but it is the planet of, whenever you think of Venus, Venus is also associated with the Greek goddess Aphrodite, who was born out of a shell. I guess I can't remember which one of the gods ended up getting their huevos chopped off and just like tossed into the sea, and then she what? And you have Aphrodite, and she is the goddess of love and beauty. And I don't know how that happened, but there you go. Um, so yeah, so that's what so Venus, the planet, was named after her, and Venus has an 8-year orbit. Its cycle, of course, then is 8 years. It takes 225 days. Um, 1 year around the zodiac due to Mercury, due to its retrograde. So Venus does go into retrograde as well for 40 to 42 days of the year of every 20 months. So um, it spends 28 days to 2 months in a sign. So, and if you look at the glyph here, the glyph is a hand mirror. So you can take a look at it's kind of like how you would like to see yourself um, reflected in others. It's Venus stands for connection. When you connect with others, how you would like to be perceived by others, and how you would like to be seen yourself. How you would like to be seen yourself, and how you would like others to see you. So I hope that that makes sense. I'm going to stop the share and continue on with this. But yeah, I wanted to show you the the mudra that I use to connect with Venus. There's a couple of different ways that you can connect with the planet itself, and one of them is to use this mudra. It's called the Padma Mudra. It goes like this. It's sort of like a lotus. So you can start with your fingers together, and you can just like spread them apart. It's a Padma Mudra. Okay, it's a many-petaled lotus, and what it is meant to signify is the opening of the heart. So, opening of the mind, opening of the heart. The element is air. Okay. And so, if you want to just take a minute and just place your fingers together and then just peel them apart. And as you do that, imagine your heart also peeling open, and imagine that many petaled lotus right there in the center of your heart, just blossoming and blooming out. Okay. And as you do that, just sense for, the love, sensing for compassion, and also sensing for truth. And this is what we're getting down to when it comes to Venus. Okay. And if you'd like a mantra of some sort, I love this one. It's Om Mani Padme Om. Om Mani Padme Om. And it's praise to the jewel in the lotus. The jewel in the lotus. I kept getting this like image of Venus actually placing this little pearl in the center of the lotus. And from there, it would just blossom, it would just grow roots and become something that was much bigger and much beautiful, much more beautiful later on. So, Venus also works with the moon. And if you do work with the moon, I was talking with my buddy Sonia today, and we were talking about the moon and manifestation and that sort of thing. And Venus works with the moon for manifestation. But we were talking about it not necessarily, manifesting in a material sense, but it's more of a, just collective what we want to see, what the vision is that we would like to see in the world. Venus will work with the moon in that way. Venus also speaks to ultimate self-love, ultimate self-care. And so many of us are not necessarily okay, so self-care, it's not necessarily something that, okay, so say you go get your nails done. We would like to say that that is self-care. But a lot of times self-care also means doing things that are not necessarily that exciting, not so pretty, like, going to the doctor when you need to go to the doctor, and really getting real with yourself when it's easier to hold on to ideas that feel safe. That is part of self-care. Kind of taking the time to dive really, really deep down and explore what is true for you. That is part of self-love and part of self-care, because what Venus is really concerned with is ultimate truth. And so I hope that that is making sense. I am, let's see here. Yeah. Alrighty. So moving on. So some of the misconceptions about Venus's reputation is that, there are stories about, if you read about Venus, the archetype, and I'd love to work with the archetypes in astrology, because they really do give a good idea as to, like, the different dimensions of the human experience. So Venus has, a reputation of being sort of, she was married to Hephaestus, and he was the, he pound out, I don't know, like swords and things, but she wasn't really that into him. But who she was really, really into was Mars, right? So she was totally into her Aries. If it's the Aphrodite, Aries, Venus, Mars sort of thing. So she was really into Mars, and so she kind of grew this reputation of being sort of this, seductive, a seductress. But at the same time, she also had the reputation for just, bringing love, bringing beauty. She also represents vanity a little bit, jealousy. There's a story that goes that there was a I can't remember, I think it was Perseus, but yeah, somebody, Pericles, one of them, came into town, and Hera and Athena and Aphrodite, all three of them, they were going to offer him something. And so Hera offered him one thing, and he was like, oh, that's interesting, and Athena was like, well, I'm going to offer you something having to do with, like, I don't know, strength and power, and I will offer you, I don't know, I'll fight for you, something like that. Aphrodite, of course, was like, well, I'm going to show you a little bit of this. So he was just kind of like, whoa. So of course, jealousy, it's kind that story represents jealousy and our jealous nature. And so Venus shows you in your chart where you might be jealous, and how you might how you give love and how you receive love, with whom you give love. And she also represents what you like, and what you love, what you're willing to go to battle for. And a lot of time, I found this absolutely fascinating when I started studying Venus. Venus works with Mars. So when Venus has a connects with her own truth and has a, one of her values, because Venus represents values as well. And that is, I feel, one of the most powerful, most important messages of Venus at this time, is that so many of us are needing to get in touch with what is our truth. What is my truth? What do I truly, truly believe in? What are my values? And what am I willing to do to support my own values and to carry them out, I guess. So yeah, Venus has this really badass side. So she will come up with strategies. I'm going to, because I believe in this so strongly, I'm going to do this. I'm going to put Mars up to it, though. Mars is just he'll just do what he's told to do. Venus tells him specifically what to do, because she is so passionate about her values. So that's what this is about here. So I'm not really seeing. I just want to make sure that I'm where I need to be. I'm not lost. I don't feel I'm lost. I don't know. Okay. Alrighty. So yeah, I'm feeling a little bit like maybe I lost you guys. I'm not really sure. If I did, if I didn't, please let me know. I also am doing this through Zoom, so I don't know if maybe there could be a thing with that. Oh well, I'll just continue on. Yeah. Alrighty. Well, I'm just going to continue on here because I don't see if anything is really happening here. Okay. Oh, looks like I'm on there. Okay, that's good to hear. Okay, yay, Charlotte, good. Okay, I couldn't find it, and I was like, where did I go? Ooh, I like that. So, just you said temptress. Yes, the temptress. Yes, that is part of the archetype as well. Absolutely, absolutely. So, I'm glad I didn't lose you guys. I was a little bit worried. But yeah, so yeah, she has the power to set the balls in motion if you have a big vision that you're aiming for. So the reason why I'm talking about Venus now is I want to show you something. This is I wanted to work with Zoom so I could do these screen shares because I think that they're so much fun. This is Archetypal Explorer. It's a program that you can use just online. It's so much fun. But one of the reasons why I wanted to talk about Venus is that Venus she's playing such an important role right now. And I don't know, I mean, I'm sure a lot of us are very aware that so many people are very activated around their desire, around their personal desires, their personal beliefs. And this could sort of point to why. I love working with this energy stuff. But right over here, you see, the little the little looking glass here. So that would be Venus. Venus is now in Libra. That's the glyph for Libra. Here's the glyph for Venus. And if I go across here, this is Mars. So Venus is opposed to Mars right now. So that means that they're talking together. the energy is a little bit tense. They're kind of pulling on each other. And so it's not a surprise that we're seeing so much sort of tension. And, it could be Venus, kind of communicating to Mars. We could think of it in this way, Venus could be communicating to Mars, hey, this is what I believe. And, so let's get ready. Um, I'm not saying, and the thing with astrology that's really, really important is to to note is that these are not nothing is written in stone. Predictive stuff. I was just talking with Sonia about this morning too. The predictive stuff, really only take it with a grain of salt. It's just interesting. It's just important to be. I feel it's important to be aware of what energy is out there. I've heard it described as astrology is kind of like, you get the weather report. You want to know what it's like outside. You want to know what you're dressing for. And so, um, so I'm going to, I love doing this. So you'll notice that this is the date here. Today it's the 9th, over there it's the 8th. But as I progress the chart, I can go back a day, I can go forward a day, but as I continue to move forward, just take a look at Venus and Mars and how long this transit lasts. See this line right here? That would be the opposition. And yep, here it is. It's right here in Aries. And on the 13th, 14th, it's supposed to start going back. It's now in retrograde, but it's going to be turning around. But you'll notice that it actually kind of sits still. When planets go into retrograde, there's a period of time when they're shifting back that it's just kind of like this, about face period. And so that's what's going to be happening with Mars all the way until the end of the month. It's just going to be turning back around. And so it's something to note. So we're just going to watch what happens. Okay. And I also want you to watch what happens with the moon. Okay, so here we have the moon. It's kind of crossed over with, so the moon is emotionality. Okay, Venus, we've been talking about Venus. A couple weeks ago, I did a talk on Mars. And so, I want to welcome you to check that out whenever you get the chance. But yeah, you'll notice that this opposition, it gets weaker. But here we go. We're moving forward. Okay. Notice that Mars is in 15 degrees. I do a lot of chart reading. I like to teach chart reading. And so this is, I think that this is a really interesting way to do that. Continuing, moving on. Okay. We're going to continue. And something else that is really important to note is that this right here, you have Saturn, Jupiter, and Pluto, and they're all forming an interesting sort of angle with Venus. So Pluto's transformation, Jupiter is expansion, Saturn is restriction. And so when it comes to expressing your values, you might sense okay, things are going to be happening. This is exciting, with Jupiter. Or I don't, I'm really kind of freaked out. That would be the Saturn. So yeah, all of these feelings are normal. it's under these energies. Okay, moving forward. Okay, so right over here, this is what I find really, really interesting. Is this. Okay, so we've got a Venus. This is on the 26th of November. We have Venus opposite Uranus. Okay, so Venus opposite Uranus is just sort of like, Uranus is the planet of surprises and just things dropping down from who knows. Okay, so this is surprise. And then we also have the moon, okay, emotionality. and it's conjunct. Okay, they're both 16 degrees, if you'll notice, 16, 16. Um, Mars has started to move back toward Pisces. Okay, right over here is Taurus, right over here is Aries. So it's now in Aries, it's moving toward Pisces. But these two are in the same degree, and that means that they're conjunct. That means they're on top of each other. Okay. And so when that happens, Moon is emotionality and Mars is aggression. So it might be a very interesting time, just saying, when it comes to, just defending values. And we also have Mercury in there, and I did a talk on Mercury last week. Yes, it was last week. So so yeah, that one, it's really it's interesting. That's all I'll say. Um, and this is why I feel it is so important that we it's so important that we tap in, that we really deep dive, go into that heart space, sort of do that mudra, and imagine, going in and finding that jewel, that Om Mani Padme Om, finding the jewel in the center of the lotus of the heart, and working with what is true, what makes sense right now. I'll stop that share. So I hope that this is making sense. Oh, yay, Myra, that's so good to hear. Ooh, yes. Okay. Is that Vasiliki? I love your name. I love it. Yes. Okay. Venus is the ruler of Libra and Taurus. But yeah, that's so so again, that website is Archetypal Explorer. It's a really cool site. And something else that can get you into the, I'm like, into the mood of Venus, into Venus mood. If you ever want to just meditate with Venus, if you go to YouTube, and I'll post the link up in the description, but if you go to YouTube, you can put in sounds of Venus and you can listen to the sounds of Venus. Now, it's nothing like Saturn. Saturn is like, just like Saturn is, okay? Saturn is the Karen of the zodiac. That's what I've heard. So he really is. He's kind of like a bummer. Okay. And then, so yeah, when you're getting to know your Venus, it's how do you indulge yourself? It's Venus can also represent a young, independent woman. So if you look at a chart, sometimes it can represent, a daughter or a sister, or even I've heard, and I don't necessarily practice this quite yet. I'm still developing my own practice in astrology, but it can represent, even in a past life, who you could have been. So if, like, say, you and your husband, you wondered if you were together in a past life, and come to find out he was maybe, in one particular sign, he has his Venus and you have your Mars, and then it's like, ooh, that is a match made in heaven, that sort of thing. So that would mean that could point to, yes, you had a past life together. It's all, a lot of it is kind of theory. You have to, once again, dive deep into your heart, decide, in order to get clarity on this. Venus can really help with clarity. Working with Mercury can also help to provide you with a lot of clarity as well. Venus is very interested in harmony, and it can mean harmony at any expense. So that's just something to consider. But it's restoring what we value. So, in what areas, it's in what areas do you want to be liked, and in what areas of your life do you seek to be validated? The house placement, and I'm going to show you more about house placements in a minute, but the house placement shows where you find love. So that can be kind of interesting. It's how you feel valued and how you feel appreciated. And again, who, how you love. And it's why we go to war a lot of times, you know, just sadly, I'm not a big proponent for war. So, but oftentimes, um, it's Venusian concepts. Those are the reasons why we find ourselves in war. Venus and Taurus would be about territory, because Taurus is very much about the material world. Um, I've heard other astrologers say that Taurus, the ruling planet, maybe shouldn't be Venus, but it should be the Earth, because Taurus is such an Earth. It's like so grounded. It's such a grounded sign, and it's all about, you know, just sensing and material. You know what is here. So Venus and Taurus signifies it's the territory. It's my territory. Venus and Libra is your relationships, your ideas. It's justice. You know what is ethically what ethically makes sense. Um, you know, my religion, those sorts of ideas. So I hope that makes sense. So hello, hello, yay! I'm I'm going to go through your comments here in a bit. Yeah, so super cool stuff, right? Um, Also, yeah, Venus tells you where in your life you experience pleasure. You know, what brings you pleasure? How do you attract people into your life? And what do you offer people in a partnership? Um, Sometimes when you have Venus next to Saturn, it could mean that you find yourself in relationships that are a little bit controlling. Venus next to Neptune can mean that you get absorbed in relationships and you kind of get dissolved in them. So you meet somebody and next thing you know, like it's sort of a mark of an empath, right? Like you meet somebody who's like, oh, I just melt into you, you know, it's that ugh. So yeah, having those influences is really interesting. Having a Venus, I know I've got a Venus right next to Uranus, and that could be, oh, come here, come here, come here. No, now go away. Come here, go away, come here, go away. So it's like ah. Um, so yeah, what do you find desirable? How do you get your needs met? So Libra again is values. It's finding common ground. It's communicating with other people and you know working with them. And Taurus is all about pleasure, material comforts, and how you spend money on things, what types of things you buy. Um, yeah, so I wanted to show you. I don't know. Let me see. I'm going to go through some of these comments. Maybe if I can figure out how to do it. They're not coming up for me right now. Oh well. So I want to show you this chart. Martin Luther King. I thought if anybody has got this, the Venus, I loved looking at his chart, check out that Venus. Okay, so let's see here. He's got Venus and Pisces right over here. Okay, Venus and Pisces right next to his moon, and moon oftentimes can represent mother. So, and I know that his mother was a very strong driving force, very strong influence on him and his work. He's also got it in his 11th house, which is all about hopes and dreams and public service and Pisces. When I think about I have a dream, Pisces totally is all about dreaming, you know, dream time. So his passion was, you know, he had this dream. I love also that it's this it's a weak aspect, but at the same time it's still an aspect that he's got his Venus opposite Neptune, and this is a mark of a visionary right here. Even though it may mean that he had to struggle, which he did, the dream was well worth it. And as we know, his dream was very much well worth it. Um, It's trine Pluto. Let's see here, where's his Pluto? It's right here. So you'll see this kind of, this aspect here. Okay, it's trine his Pluto. So that's the power of transformation through relationships. And, just thinking about his life, like that is just, it's amazing to see how these things really unfold in a birth chart. So first, a planet is always first in an element. Okay, water. Water is, his emotions, how he feels. Pisces is a mutable sign. Am I right? Is that right? Yeah, it's a mutable sign. So that means that it's moving. It's motivated by. It might get aggravated, and it senses that it needs to do something. Okay, so it's water. It needs to do something. It's like he couldn't just sit still. He couldn't, like, if it was sort of like a Taurus or a Scorpio is like, I'm gonna, it's a watery sign, but it's a fixed. So it's like, I'm gonna go inward and I'm gonna just, consider this and I'm gonna spend some time with it. But no, he was more like, let's, I'm feeling that our nation, that our people need this. And yeah, it's just it's very powerful. So, and I love this quote by him: everybody can be great because anybody can serve. You don't have to have a college degree to serve. You don't have to make your subject and verb agree to serve. You only need a heart full of grace, a soul generated by love. And I just, I got the chills. So I'm going to stop that share. So I thought, yeah, that is very, very powerful. So there's some important Venus transit dates. I think we already went over them. Let's see here. And yeah, so the upshot of all of this is working with Venus can help you to act in a way that is in line with your values. And so I just want to make sure. Let's see here. I'm going to go back, see if I can find any, if there are any. I'm not seeing any comments yet. They are, it's being kind of a pain showing me the comments. So I apologize if I am not getting to them. But I'll get to them. You can feel free to drop them in there and even ask questions. That's fine. And I'll get back to them. But what I wanted to do for a minute is I just wanted to take a minute to tap into Venus, kind of do a little Venus transmission. I want to lead you through and connecting with your own. So, and if it helps to close your eyes, of course, close your eyes, tap your feet on the ground. Okay, get grounded. Place your fingers together. Okay, and we'll do that Padma Mudra, just like that. And allow yourself to just some breath to wherever it needs to go inside your body. Remember that your body always is there to help connect you with what is true. And truth always feels like freedom. Truth feels like freedom. So if you find that you have any sensations inside your body that are calling out for attention, just pay attention to it, notice it. You don't need to do anything with it. And envisioning that jewel in the center of the lotus. Just ask it, what is it that I need to know? What is it about my truth that I need to know? And even if you have something that you're grappling with, that you're not sure, is this true for me or is this not true for me? Come to that jewel and talk to the jewel. And even if you want to place your hands, envision yourself placing your hands on that jewel and ask it, what is it that I need to know about my truth? And what is it that I need to do to support that truth? Because what this is going to do is once Mercury stations direct, is it's going to tell Mercury how you can move forward from a place that is true to you and that's real. And that there's so much power in your truth. And if you're still struggling with finding that truth, envision yourself, just envision that flower. Okay, you're at the center of the flower. And anything that you're not sure about, calling in Archangel Raphael, Archangel Michael, to help you peel away anything that isn't true so that it can fall away. And this is fall. They're also pointing to, this is the seasons. And so it's the season. This is fall, allowing anything that's not true for you to just fall away. Allow it to come, just falling to the ground, so that all that's left is your true self. Just absolute truth. So that you can move forward. So yes, Padma Mudra. And I'm seeing a light coming from that flower that's coming from the center of your heart, spouting up out of the top of your head and around, almost like a big water fountain of light. It's causing sort of like this flood of light all around you, like with sparklers. And just allow yourself to bathe in that light for a minute, that light of truth. And Archangel Michael is it's almost, I'm almost like seeing him just kind of like pulling the light up, 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 and letting us know, hey, it's okay if you realize at some point, like what you thought was once true. If you find out that it's not true after all, it's okay to just allow that to fall away. We're human. So now he's bubbling all of you up. And that light of truth is coming back into your heart. Allow that just to come in. And this is working with that pure, true essence, that the gold. You have shadow parts of archetypes, and then you've got the gold. And this is the gold of Venus. This is what we're working with right now. And as we know, there is nothing wrong with shadow. We need to embrace that part as well. Many of us have that and are familiar with some of those shadowy parts of Venus. And I know I am. So it's, you need to embrace that part because it served you, it has served you for what, in any way, in whatever way it did at the time. You needed that part. It's okay to allow it to just kind of, go to the side, yet not discard it, but just allow it to move to the side. Say, hey, I need what's true. So coming back in and sending the breath all along the chakra center. Okay, sending it down into the ground. Down to the center of the earth, coming back in into the heart. You can put your hand on your belly. You can tap your belly if you need some, if you need to do that. You can blink your eyes open, wiggle your fingers and your toes, whatever feels good. And that's about it. I hope that you guys enjoyed this today. I'm going to hop off now. I had a really good time hanging out with you all month long. And yeah, if you have any questions at all, feel free to reach out. Again, the Facebook group is Jupiter's Playground, and I also have a website called jupitersplayground.com. I do readings if you would like a reading, and I charge $45 for this group for y'all. And that would be for about that would be a reading just to take a look at your chart. I do also do partner readings, and those are a little bit more because there's a lot more work that's involved in it, and those are about $90. But yeah, so if you ever have any questions, please feel free to reach out. I do also teach a lot of, I'm in the business of teaching astrology to folks. So yeah, and I do that. You could find a lot of that in my Jupiter's Playground Facebook group. So again, I'll put the links for all these things up there. So alrighty, it was fun to hang out with you guys. Take care. Have a good one. Bye-bye.